Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Three Stooges. More specifically about the 82nd Stooge short produced by Columbia Pictures that was released on November 24th, 1944. Filming took place between April 25th and the 28th, 1944. It's called No Doughboys. Now, why is this important? It's a film title play on the quote, No Boys. If you don't know about Japanese history or about Japanese American history, that is during World War II, Japanese Americans who answered no to a two-part loyalty question that asked them to renounce the Japanese emperor and agree to serve in the military armed forces. No, they won't renounce the Japanese emperor, and no, they will not agree to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. So no boys. That is what they call Japanese Americans. And so this is something to really think about because this is one of the reasons why this film is very controversial. In fact, this short Three Stooges film was blacklisted. It was not allowed to be shown in many networks. Now, of course, some people have seen it, but it is harder to see, or it is harder for networks to want to show it because of how risque it was at the time, and still people don't want to show it to this day. If you want me to show you other Three Stooge shorts, I've done every single one from number 1 all the way to 81, then continuing, of course, with 82 here. So make sure to check out my channel to see what I have. Now, I have talked about previous World War II propaganda shorts from the Stooges, and this is one of them because they made these, and in fact, they were propaganda. It was the way that the Stooges would put in their 2 cents or their effort to win the war was to make this propaganda against the enemy, of course, the Japanese at that time. It was against the Empire of Japan and the people, and there were other Stooge shorts which I have covered, so it is something to keep in mind, especially why they are so controversial and why people don't want to show them. In this short, the Stooges are dressed as Japanese soldiers because they have a job as magazine models. Now, on their lunch break, they go into a restaurant with their uniforms, of course, that they took for this modeling shoot. And the owner of the restaurant mistakes them for the real thing, actual Japanese soldiers, and they become chased. Now the boys fall through a trap door and they find themselves in a nest of German spies. You know, those Nazis. And they're mistaken for 3 Japanese soldiers, Naki, Saki, and Waki, who are Japanese saboteurs. Now, the Stooges try to act the part, including demonstrating some acrobatic and some jujitsu. I'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit, but when the real Naki, Saki, and Waki show up, the boys are exposed as imposters, and they fight in order to manage not just their lives, but to capture all of the spies. Now, you can see how this could be seen as problematic, you know, them having these names Naki, Saki, and Waki. Also notice that the Stooges, they wear prosthetic teeth, kind of like these fake, gigantic white teeth. Their skin color is colored differently to resemble people of Japanese descent, and they have this fake Japanese accent that, again, for some people it's problematic, for others it is not. And it's one of those things where you can't cut sections out of this short that are problematic. It's not like it's one scene, it's the whole short. So that's why they just say, let's just not play this one, let's play another one that has quote unquote no problems. And so it's more of a thought that I want to get into and ask you in the comments below. I've asked you before, but if you have seen the past ones that I've covered, I want you to let me know how offensive this is to you, or how offensive do you think this could be for others. I've covered other Stooge shorts like Booby Dupes, as well as The Yoke's on Me, and we could see that they are problematic as well. Some people would say this one in particular, No Doughboys, is probably the most offensive or the most problematic in terms of propaganda, but it is funny in its own way. It's not just like a serious short. There's a lot of funny things. In my opinion, the acrobatics that the Stooges do is great because it's one of those things where they're doing without really doing, right? Or if you heard that quote where people say that they're speaking but they're not really saying anything, they're just speaking in a roundabout way. It's kind of what the Stooges are doing here. They're doing acrobatics, they're moving around, they're sweating, and they're actually doing physical exercise, but they're not really doing any acrobatics. They're kind of on the edge of doing the acrobatics while not doing them, but it's also entertaining and funny because It's what you imagine the Stooges would be like if they're doing acrobatics. It's kind of, you know, not professional at all, but still funny and entertaining. And so it's a sight to see if you haven't seen this short. I'm really curious to know your thoughts about this. Should shorts like this be thrown in a vault, never to be shown again? Or should they be entertained for audiences, shown to audiences, and just say, well, this was just a product of the time? Other people even argue that this is real. This is real Japanese or anti-Japanese propaganda, World War II propaganda, that is, and that is something that should be preserved. This is exactly how it was, exactly how it should have been at that time. And so we want to know, what do you think about that? Would you agree with this? Would you not agree with this? I'd love to see your comments down below. I really enjoy making these videos, so the best way that you can keep them free, that you can keep me making these videos, is by being a subscriber. It's free to do so. Also, hitting the thumbs up button, it helps truly so much. The more thumbs up I get, the more my channel is shown to other people, and the more successful it is, and the more I can continue doing this. And if you leave a comment, it truly helps out. If you want to make the video longer, shorter, if you want to talk about another Stooge short, anything you pretty much write is helpful. So I do appreciate all of that support. We'll see you all next time. Don't forget to always stay positive, and most importantly, be hopeful. A big thanks to all my Patreon supporters, especially Vito L, Sally N, Russ C, Kev, Daniel B, Citizen Kane 359, and David D. If you want to be on this list, make sure to check out the Patreon link below. Thanks so much.